Fadia back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm joined by the one and only Regis Prograis here in London. First of all, welcome to London. How have you found it adapting to the time zone?
Oh man, it's messed me up at first, man. For a while, I live in LA, so it's 8 hours different. So when it's nighttime over there, it's morning time over here. So it really kind of messed me up. But now I'm fully adjusted. So that's the reason I came over here early.
So obviously a lot of people don't know why we're here today. Give us some insight of what we're doing here at this boxing gym.
We came, to really talk to the kids. They told me it's like this is what kind of school this was, and it's a school for like kids. And I don't know if it's trouble kids or nothing like that. Kids like basically like the society kind of wrote off, and then they have a boxing gym inside of it, and they do boxing classes. So I had to jump at the opportunity to come because usually I do this. I always do like a pre-fight camp thing. Pre-fight. In like a kids camp, and I always go to like kids and stuff like before my fights. And so this is like the school we picked this time, and I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad I came just because of this program. Like this is a great program they have going on.
Great stuff. All right, let's move on. Obviously, next Saturday night, huge fight, you against Josh Taylor. Before we touch on that, I just want to touch on something that happened before the fight was announced. There was a lot of rumours about the legal issues with the Wbss. Could you just give us your side of the story?
It was just things that had to. First off, I never thought like I wasn't gonna fight him. For me, it was always like about when I'm gonna fight him. It wasn't like if I'm gonna fight him. I always was like when I'm gonna fight him. And in my contract, they had some things that just had to be sorted out. And of course, now they sorted out, and that's why we're here. But at first, it was just some things that it just kind of wasn't right, and some deadlines they had to meet. And like I said, now they met them, and now we're here. So.
During that period, though, there was a lot of fans from the UK and Scotland and even Josh Taylor's team who were sort of insinuating the fact that you were scared of him. At that time, obviously, it must have been stressful. How did you sort of react to it? How did you feel about that?
Well, to be honest, I couldn't react because it was going through like litigation and stuff. So at that time, everybody was saying stuff about me. I couldn't say nothing. I kind of just had to read stuff online and just sit down and just be quiet and stuff, which is hard for me to be sometimes. But it's cool, I think that that was, I think they really thought that I was scared of him. I think that's really what happened. They really thought him and his team or whoever, they really thought that I was scared of him to come over here and fight. And now it just show you like that's definitely not the truth. Like I'm here, I've been here for a week. I'm here 3 weeks before the fight. So now it just show people like I just basically tell them they're gonna eat their words.
And obviously your opponent on the Saturday night, Josh Taylor, you and him both have very similar resumes in the sense of you're undefeated, high KO percentage, and you've got some brilliant names on both your record. What does separate you on Saturday night?
I think my style, man. I think my style will give him fits. I feel like he can. He fights maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 different ways. But me, I do all kinds of stuff in the ring. I can do so many different things, and I think that's what's always gonna separate me against not just him, but everybody else. It's just if you look at majority of my last 10 fights. And all of them probably been different. All of them look like different styles. And you look at him, he got 15 fights, and in his 15 fights, all of them look the same. Of course he won. He's tough. He's long. He's strong. He's fast. I think he's a good boxer. But most of his fights, I think they look the same. Mine, none of them really look the same. I do so many different things, and I'm sneaky, and I can do so many different things in the ring. So I think that's what's gonna separate me.
On the press conference, obviously there was a bit of a back and forth between Derek Chisora, which was quite funny at the time. So just tell us why you've had the feeling to stand up then and had to say what you had to say.
I mean, I'm just not. First, I didn't know nothing about him going into the press conference. I didn't know he was how he was and stuff like that. I respect his mind for trying to get more money and stuff, but don't try to talk about us. So I was kind of course, I didn't know nothing about him, so nobody else stood up. And now I know everybody was kind of scared of him, but for me it was just like I'm not scared of him. Like I'm gonna say I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. So that's kind of why I stood up. And of course, like I'm the main event. I still the main event. I'm surprised he didn't want to say nothing. And I saw an interview. He said that he didn't hear him and stuff. And it was like I didn't hear some of the stuff he said, but some things I did hear what he said. And so that's kind of that was my take. That's kind of why I stood up for myself.
All right, thank you very much for your time and all the best on your upcoming fight. Cheers.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here, or else